And we are back for the third and final game even of the Infinity Games Highlander League. And we are all level here at 1-1. And this time we get Alan. This time is on the play for the first time in this game.
With a very good hand.
Alan has a very good hand of a Forest Stirring Wildwood Savannah, Deathrite Shaman, Path Exile, Bitter Blossom, and Gadok Teague. Now Alan decides to keep his hand, and Russell is still deciding and decides to ship it back in, which is a very decisive decision in Game 3 of such an important game.
It was a terrible hand from memory. I wouldn't have kept it for the world. Basically I have to combo him out here when he's on the play. He has the advantage of Thought Seize, Inquisition on that turn 1.
Which are very good on the play.
So I have to be mindful of that and not keep a hand that is just super soft to early disruption.
Yeah, for sure. But having just even the ledger at 1-1, you wouldn't be very happy with this starting Game 3.
Not too much. I believe I drew a hand with no land. Just hoping to get about a 6, something good.
So here it is. Russell draws his 6 in very stylish fashion.
Yeah.
Laying it out nice and for the table, and he draws a hand of Island, Steam Event, Show and Tell, Fact or Fiction. Now this is a very interesting hand because you have half your combo, you have your land. So basically, you just need, if he doesn't have
anything,
you just win, right? So he leads up with a Forest and Deathrite
Show and Tell. Fact or Fiction is what I'm really relying on here. It's such a card advantage and define my combo.
Yeah, and you just lead off with a Scalding, with a Steam Vents tapped. So Alan untaps, draws for his turn, You drew a Crows and Grip, which is a very good card in this matchup. Gets to play the
swings for 1, which I'm a bit confused about.
Savannah, and swings for 1. And then he gets to play Teague. Teague's a very good card, but not that good in this situation. Untap. You draw the visions, play the visions.
Gadok Teague is actually a very, very good card. Here I am looking at it and just thinking, crap. Imagine from now I'm silently screaming inside my head.
So Alan untaps for his turn 3, draws a Bloodstone Mine. Now Bloodstone Mine is very good because it actually puts the Deathrite into play.
Really, yeah.
Puts it online, puts him into effect.
Lets him just do more, but I'm just not in a good place right now. I drew a land. I can't play that Fact or Fiction.
He's got broad presence. He's got pressure. He's got disruption. He's got all his lands. He's in a very good spot.
I'm holding 4 lands. Basically, and a Show and Tell with nothing.
So he plays the Bloodstone Mine, he swings him the Deathrite, swings in the Gadok Teague, knocking you down to 16 points of life, and then main phase 2, he sacks the Bloodstone Mine, knocking himself down to 19 life, gets a Swamp, and I'm guessing that he's going to play the Bitter Blossom.
Yeah, here it's just I'm being buried under an avalanche of junk.
It seems a bit weird if he is playing Bitter Blossom, which he is. Which is a very good card.
It's just more pressure. I'm just not doing anything anymore, and he's just gonna
play
the stream of 1/1s
and just ship the turn straight back to
incremental
Russell.
Damage.
So Russell gets the untap, draws for his turn, hoping to draw a fatty. He draws a Preordain.
Excellent card.
Which is not a fatty, but it's still a good card.
It's a good card.
Play the Preordain.
I'm just
reveals
hoping
a land and on something else.
I believe it's another sort of filtered draw spell. It might be a Ponder or a Brainstorm.
It looked like Ponder or Brainstorm. It was Miscow. Yeah. Miscow also does that thing as well. You get to play the island, leaving the Miscow up. Plus, you also get to cycle end of turn, which is the other ability.
Yeah, if he doesn't play anything, I'm just digging deep, and that's all I want to do at this point.
So Alan untaps for his turn, puts a token into play, courtesy of the Bitter Blossom, and draws for his turn.
I'd like to point out, I'm really glad that Alan's actually using proper tokens for the most part. The tokens for the permanents.
He's a very proud token user.
He is a proud token user, which is very important. Not enough of it these days. Just too many bits of dice.
So Alan draws a Swamp for his turn. He attacks with just the Teague this turn.
Holding back the Deathrite, which can now just hurt me for 2 off that Preordain, which I've so selflessly put in the graveyard for him.
Which is very true, and then he just strips the turn back to Russell. Russell end of turn decides to cycle the miscalculation, draws a land, untaps, draws a Chrome Mox, which is basically a land.
Yeah, here I'm just holding land. I can't play that Fact. I'm too far behind probably to get that. I'm really hoping to survive for the Ancestral, draw a fatty, maybe an Emrakul, and maybe get in there. But at this point, it's looking pretty bad for me.
At the moment, Alan untaps, put another token into play.
And you'll notice that Stirring Wildwood can now rumble as well. So.
Yeah, it puts you on effectively a 2-turn clock.
Exactly.
So Alan,
and that's exactly the turn that I need for that vision.
Yeah. which basically gets to outrace the vision. So he
Yeah.
untaps, draws for his turn, draws the Thoughtseize, which basically helps his clock as well because it takes more stuff. So he snap Thoughtseizes you. You reveal a hand of basically garbage.
He can
probably
take the one good card.
He takes a show and tell, which basically leaves you drawing dead.
It does leave me drawing dead, and I believe that's what you take here anyway. There's nothing else of value.
Yeah, for sure. It's the only way you could possibly get out of this game is this show and tell.
And,
So once he takes it,
that just goes.
You basically can't cast a spell.
Yeah, and I
Or
want
a
a
spell worth
2-turn
doing
clock
anything.
for that Ancestral Vision to even draw me out of the game.
Yeah.
Also, no, I don't think it would matter at this point. I didn't know at the time, but between Pass and Corrosion Grip, he does have effectively any answer to anything I could possibly do.
So he does activates the Stirring Wild, gets into the red summon, Stirring Wild with the Death Right, the Gadok Teague, and the token, knocking Russell down to 6, basically giving him a turn. Russell takes a token off the visions, taps the top of his deck, and has to pretty much pray. And he draws.
And it's a Force of Will again.
Draws that
hard
Force of
card.
Will, that awesome Force of Will right on cue.
For
And
the,
basically leaves him with nothing, reveals his hand, and concedes. And Alan Carey is the winner of the first Infinity Games Highlander League.
He did play well that third game. He had the perfect answer, the perfect hand.
He played
Just
very
crushed
well
me.
that third game.
Absolutely crushed me. Congrats to him. I had a great time. It was an absolutely fantastic tournament. Couldn't have been, a better experience.
I would like to thank all the players that decided to be a part of the first event, and for all those people to stay tuned for the next instalment of the Infinity Games Highlander League, which will begin at the end of May. I would also like to thank the people that helped us video and the people that helped me with the league. So I'd like to thank Rio Yoshino, Lyndon Cullen, Tyson, and Lee Gregurki for all helping me set up the league, posting pairings, and of course Infinity Games and Lee Cope as the owner of that store.
Yeah, and I'd just like to thank Rob for giving the opportunity to stay here in the booth and just discuss a couple of really sweet games of Magic. So it's been a pleasure.
Thanks, Russ. And that concludes our coverage of the finals of the Infinity Games Highlander League. So from Russell Cutting and Robert Lark, it's see you later.
Thanks for tuning in.